Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to make this video. I am excited to make this video because I think Kabam has done something really amazing, though I haven't been able to take advantage of it yet. I plan to by the end of the event. We still have the time of recording this over 2 days of this, and I think this is genius. I really do. And we need to do a good job as a community of highlighting just how amazing this new concept is. Because I don't want this to be a one-off that never comes back. I want this to be the template for something that starts the momentum of a tradition of this. I'm not saying it has to be or it should be every month because I don't think that's realistic. But at minimum every year, and certainly maybe a couple times a year, when we're dealing with 6-star champions specifically, and I know 7 stars are coming in the game next year and everything's going to be to a certain extent reset as far as the top conversation of the progression in this game. And I've got to prepare myself for that, and that's going to take some time. It's even just taking time to change the muscle memory of clicking on 6 stars instead of 7 stars, because I usually just highlight the most stars at the bottom of the champion filter page and call it a day. Not anymore, right? But when we talk about 6 stars, there are over 200 champions in the 6-star basic crystal. 200. That means, let's say that you're targeting Scorpion that just went by. You have less than half of 1% of a chance to get that champion in this basic crystal. If you go for the featured, you have a 4.2% chance to get that champion. But it actually goes much deeper than that. Because I am convinced, and no one can tell me otherwise, after all the years of data that I have followed and kept track of for this 6-star basic crystal, that it's not just that the pool widens and the odds drop. It's that you have a better shot, a much better shot at pulling one of the OG 2015 champions, let's say Iron Fist, for example. You have a much better shot at pulling an Iron Fist than you do a Hercules. You have a much better shot at pulling an OG Captain America or an Iron Patriot than you do a Scorpion or a Black Cat. This is just the reality of the algorithm that determines the outcome of crystals. It is no different than determining the outcome of a slot machine when you press that button or pull that lever for older slot machines. Because of this, it can be virtually impossible, even if you spend a ton of money to land that top champion. This is why people can spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on featured Cav crystals, where even now the 6-star drop rate for Killmonger is still less than 1%. And it's still over $10 worth of units to buy one. Of course, that's why they want you to buy $100 worth of units, which is still enough for only 10 of these. And you would have to spend $1,000 to get about what you would hope to be the drop rate for that featured champion, even somebody who's been in the game for years and years like Killmonger. This is why the future of the game is this event. And, well, this event, but especially this event. When you talk about doing objectives over the course of 33 days, and Kabam is trying to promote, first and foremost, their newest buff, a buff that, for people that I've seen that actually use Rocket Raccoon daily, and I do not, so I'm still learning how to play him, and that's going to be a slow process. But for those of you who play him and were excited, and maybe you ranked him up prematurely and hoped that it would pay off, it sounds like you're pretty happy with the payoff. It sounds to me like this is meeting your expectations. And so eventually, for those of you with the progression enough, and I know there are going to be people who might comment on this video and say, yeah, Prof, but I'm proven and can't get the 6-star. Well, Kabam has to give you incentives to progress. And this is a wonderful incentive to do that. So, yes, we're talking about guns, blazing crystals as points for this. But specifically, the ability to guarantee yourself the 6-star. Or in my case, because I already have the 6-star, but I have been unable to see him again, I am guaranteeing the second best part of that puzzle, and that is the ability to awaken him. This is game-changing. This is the opposite of the Marvel Casino of Champions. This is the Marvel completing tasks of champions, which doesn't have as good of a ring to it, but it is so important. This is the future of the game for players. Events that are a month long, that have objectives tied to them and end up giving you the satisfaction of knowing you don't have to open a crystal and pray to the RNGesus gods, but instead you just get the champion. This is also the best argument the game has for when they say this is a quote-unquote loot box game. They can say, no, we have events that guarantees you the outcome of something. And so for both legal ramifications going forward, because you never know what Congress is going to pass when it comes to getting kids addicted to essentially a version of gambling, again, why I call it the Marvel Casino of Champions, between that and just making sure players have an incentive to do these events, this is fantastic. I am so happy whoever thought of this, put this in the game. It was a fantastic idea, and I hope it's a sign of things to come.